Hey, what's going on, guys? Gamers, Sim Sports gamers. We are back, episode number 6. And sorry for the voice. I'm a little bit, still recovering from my sickness over the holidays. So, but we're here. We're here, man. We took a break last week for the holiday, so hopefully everybody made it back safe and sound and enjoyed their time with their family. I know I did. I went out to the mountains and had a nice little vacation. So it was nice. But we're back with episode number 6. We have a huge show for you tonight. We have a special guest on tonight. Smitty from the Sim Standard is coming on tonight. He requested to come on and join us. And we may have some other guests that join the show later on, depending on how things go. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Gedden. What's going on, my man? How are you? All right, cool, man. Your video looks a little dark. I don't know if there's something going on. It's like a dim, but just FYI, if you care. Not sure why I noticed that. Didn't notice that before, but yeah. So we'll be getting Smitty on. He should be coming on soon. But before he comes on, we'll just get moving here. And yeah, and that's it. So let me pull the chat up. I see we got Gideon Prime up in here. What's up, Gideon? So we have some people joining, and let's do this. So we have some topics we want to discuss. I mean, one of the things that um, yeah, yeah. So as always, every Thanksgiving they have. You guys know there's a ton of sales out there, and if you've been waiting on a game or haven't had time to play a certain game, well, Black Friday is always a good week, good time to pick up games, especially on Steam, because Steam always has their crazy like 80 to 90% off discounts on their games. So if you missed out on any games, I'm sure last week some of you guys picked up some new titles out there to on the cheap to get your fix. And some of the games that I saw out there, GameStop had a lot of deals going on with their EA Sports games like your FIFAs, your NHL, your Madden. They were all, I think they were $30 a piece, and so that was a pretty good deal. I already had Madden from my son, so I didn't pick that up. And then NHL and FIFA, just I don't have time for those games. If I picked up a game, it would be PES. I think PES was on sale too, actually. But what I did pick up was Everybody's Golf for the PS4. It was $20. That's like the spinoff from Hot Shots Golf. If you guys have played Hot Shots Golf before, and so I bought it for $20. And then they also had a deal if you wanted an old Xbox 360. They had a crazy deal. They were like just giving them away because they had a deal where they were $60 for the box Xbox 360, but it did not include any hard drive or anything. It just had the system and I would imagine a controller, but it was a used Xbox 360. And then what they gave you was a $60 Visa gift card, so you could use that money anywhere. So it's like you get a free Xbox. So it was only on, I think, on Thursday or Friday, or both Thursday through Friday. And then when I went in on Saturday, I asked the guy about it, and he said that he didn't have any more in stock. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they were just giving away old 360s. Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, I saw him come on. Not sure what happened. So we'll see if he comes back in. He should jump. There he is. Hold on, Smitty. Let me get you on 1 second. Hold on. I think I got you muted, Smitty. Hold on a second. Is your mic muted, Smitty? Can you hear us? He's saying he can hear us. Let me um Not on purpose. Not on purpose. We don't block anybody here. Let's see. So, well, you can go ahead and talk about your Thanksgiving if you want, and then I'll try to get Smitty on while you're kicking that off. Yeah, I normally jump on. I think Smitty, I think you can you're on live now. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you guys.
Oh, there he is. Like we can hear you now, man. What's up, man?
What's up? Oh, not much. What's going on?
How are you, man? How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great. It was great, man. It was awesome. I don't know if you want details or not, but all right. No, man. First of all, basically the whole week was awesome, but basically because like Monday, I had said it on Twitter a while back, but like my mom was going through a big time battle with cancer for over like a year and a half. And on Monday, she had her final procedure. So she's completely rid of cancer now.
Oh man.
So,
Awesome.
that's, like unfortunately I lost my father to it, but my mom overcame it. So that's awesome with that. That makes the whole week, you know what I'm saying, regardless. But I had some family come into town and we hung out, played cards. Well, my wife played cards. She's more of the card player and game player on that level. Yeah, there it is. That's it. That spades is a family game of choice like that, in that regard, outside of playing board games and stuff. But did that. Did go out to the mall on Saturday. Didn't do the Black Friday thing. If I did anything on Black Friday, it was all online stuff. I ain't trying to be out there like that. Seeing that, like what I think Gedden was saying, like PS4 had all them deals. I capitalized on some of those joints that I've been wanting for a minute, but I didn't go get yet. So I picked up a few games. That was pretty much it. But and then we bought some stuff for our daughter, all that stuff. So it was cool. Had a real good, nice weekend, nice time with the family and all that. So Thanksgiving was awesome in many ways.
That's awesome, man. And shout out to your mom. Hopefully everything goes well, man. That's serious.
Yeah.
We talk about gaming here, and at the end of the day, it's nothing in comparison to, the humanity and the fact that you have families and, this is just for fun, man. And this puts it into perspective. So hopefully your mom can recover quick and say goodbye to that bad monster, man. We don't want to see that thing anymore.
Oh yeah, no, she's good. Yo, yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, no, let me tell you, man. She's all up on that. Like, see, that's what that honestly helped with the battle because she eats a lot of vegetables. She doesn't drink the regular Aquafinas and the Dasanis and all that stuff. Like she gets like pH balanced water and all that stuff. So, she's been doing that for like she did that along the way, but she definitely does that now and keeps that up. Like she pretty much is vegan for the majority. Like she does eat meat still, but she cooks with, she does a ton of vegetables versus eating meat. So she still does. But yeah, so that's why I'm like, hey, I gotta get up on that. Like I'm working eventually, I'm working my way toward that. But yeah, but like she does a whole lot of eggplant and and fruits and vegetables, but mainly veggies. So
yeah, I'll tell you what, man. My wife's got me on vegan. She's vegan now, and she's got me on some vegetarian vegan kick for like the past. I swear it's been like 3 or 4 years, and I think I'm losing chest hair, man. I think I'm losing chest hair. I'll tell you what, I need some. What's up? Right. Gorillas. Gorillas are the strongest animal in the world, they say. Yep.
Okay.
Vegetarians.
I thought you had to be eating on, nuts and stuff like that, and for the protein. Like I thought that's where you really get the protein from. Okay.
Chia seeds. Yeah.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm just saying, like, hey, we gotta live. You know what I'm saying? We gotta live.
Oh yeah, we gotta live before we talk about games.
It's cool. It's cool for a moment. You know
This
what I
is
mean?
the vegan special. Vegan special. So yeah, so
let's get it in. Let's go.
So we have a special guest on tonight. Everybody knows Smitty from the Sim Standard. He's been around for a minute or two, and he's an EA game changer. And we've had our discussions and our our breaking of bread, as you say, and disagreements. Agree to disagree, and that's the thing too. We're all respectful as much as we can be. Times when we get heated and we get frustrated, and we might say things that we may not mean, or we might just get a little bit emotional about things. But at the end of the day, we all, at one point or another, felt like we wanted the same thing. And I still think to this day, many of us want a better product, want a better football game. And, Smitty and his guys are doing their thing. And Smitty asked to come on the show. So we appreciate having him on. We just started this show 6 episodes ago, number 6 tonight. So, Smitty, what did you want to talk about, man? We didn't have any topics really for you. We had some questions I think we're going to ask you. We have people in the chat that are going to, have questions for you as well, I'm sure. So please feel free to shoot out your questions, guys, and then we'll get this thing rolling.
I didn't have like I hit you up in the message. I didn't have any questions or anything like that per se. I was just coming through. You know what I'm saying? To see how, check out the show, see what's cracking. I've listened to some episodes and everything. So, I'm checking out what y'all doing. I like what you guys are doing. I respect y'all perspective and everything. So, that's why I was like, let me see. That's why I was hitting you up, seeing, if I could get on and just to come through, man. That's pretty much it. So whatever you guys got on the docket, whatever it is y'all want to talk about, whatever, what I'm saying, we could chop it up, man.
All right, man. Cool. I mean, I didn't know if you just wanted to, freewheel it or not, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But cool, like, it's whatever. We love having guests on the show, man. We want different perspectives. This show is about the community, as we keep talking. It's about everybody's opinion and respecting people's opinion, and no one on here will get muted unless you just start acting stupid. But at the end of the day, we're all grown men who just want to just get a better product and get better games and talk about the games that are out there. So, I know that one of the questions that came out was about what you guys are doing with Madden. And I know you guys have your show every Thursday night at 8 p.m. And you guys are still, pushing your show. And that's, respectable that you guys have so many episodes. And I've listened to a lot of them. I've been on your show. And, there's a lot of, I think my thing, as usual, as we've talked before, is, I go back and forth because on one side, I'm thinking, you guys have gone out there to represent the sim community and really try to put our fingerprint on the Madden game, make Madden a better product. And I think that, from what we see with Madden and what I experience with Madden, there's so many things that we feel are broken with that game. And, you guys only have so much power, only have so much control. But, if it were somebody like me, I feel like I would lose my patience, and I would not go out there and give those guys my time if the game wasn't getting to a point that I felt was satisfactory. So we all have different opinions on what we feel is satisfactory or what we feel is improving. I know you guys have said many a time that you think the game is improving on certain fronts, and people have to play the game to really experience every piece and give it a justified review of the game. I play gameplay with my son. I watch him play. The bugginess, the way the animations are, the way the guys move around, the glitches in the game are just so frequent that to me it destroys any bit of interest digging deeper into the game. That's my just off the cuff, introduction to how I feel about things. And I don't know if Gedden has anything for you, but if you want to respond to that, Smitty, go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I hear you too. No, you good. No, you good. You good. Hold on, can y'all hear Gedden now?
Yeah, I can.
I can hear you Gedden. I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I've been hearing Gedden from the beginning.
See, the thing is, Gedden, you weren't talking though, so it was just Hobble talking. So like, can people? Oh, he said he don't hear you. See, Gideon said.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Hey, Gedden, you want to jump off and jump back on? I can eject you, and then you can come back on if you want. All right. See, I say I never boot anybody here, but we're gonna boot some. We're gonna boot someone now. So now we got the co-host. Smitty's my co-host. Driving the cockpit.
Now, from what you had said, well, what was the main question you had said?
I mean, no question. I think the community and the guys that listen to us and people that I talk to, I know a lot of these guys, we have our frustrations with, you guys going out there being EA game changers and us feeling like we're not getting the product that we deserve. And, I think it'd be worth mentioning and giving your opinion or your stance on where you are, where your group is, you and SimF Ball Critic and Azure, like where you guys stand and how you feel about the current state of Madden and where you think it's going, so that people can get a glimpse of in your minds and see what you guys are thinking with the game.
All right. Well, I mean, the way that I feel about the game at this point in time is that it's, them making the transition over to Frostbite was a big deal. And with that, see, like, because the last time I played it before launch was EA Play. So it's not like I went to another event before the game came out to be like, okay, y'all, to try and precursor or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on. Yeah. Oh, okay. You just posed that question. All right. So, when, like, the way I look at the game is I look and see as far as progression wise, what's going on with the game. Am I like, is this game 100% there? No. And I know, is it at the level that we truly want it to be at? No. And the most intriguing thing about it is that when you have a guy on the level of Rex, basically emulating the same point that we're making, that sets it for me. Like, okay, bet if like there was a podcast, you guys may have spoke about it a few weeks ago or something, that Mutt Guys or whatever podcast. And I mean, that right there is the best insightful podcast. Like, I mean, 2.5 hours of Q&A. That, I mean, honestly, if I was outside looking in, I wouldn't need no more insight. I'd be like, bet. So if the franchise director basically now is basically saying that the game is not a game that he would stand behind as of yet and put that stamp, be like, I could really rock behind this. And the last time you said that was NCAA 14. All right, cool. Then that tells, like, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, of course, give feedback based off of what's going on with the game, show the pluses, the minuses, all that good stuff. And I'm going to keep it trucking, because in terms of getting change and everything, I mean, it works on multiple fronts. It's not just one way to do it, and that's it. So while people give us the labels that they give, and honestly, I don't care about that, because it's like what work's being put in. That's just like somebody calling you out and saying, Javo, you don't know how to program Jet. Okay, but I've literally seen your work. I've seen you with your editor and what you've done with the backbreaker editor and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I've seen your work. So for me to just call you out because I may feel a certain way or whatever the reason may be, it's like, okay, well, that's how you feel. And I'm not upset. I'm not going to get upset with you on that. Plus, at the same time, if I talk with the devs about, you know, their discussions and things like that, that we have, that of course we have NDA, you know, we sign NDAs and things like that. I can't disclose every single conversation, but that's one of the main things that me and Sim and Azura definitely stressed, was like, man, I wish that these guys could be more public and share things that, you know, share on a level that people can at least get an understanding. It's not saying understand and say, oh, okay, whew, that means be cool, be happy, and don't get mad about anything. No, you be mad, be the exact same way you choose to be, or however it is you feel. But I'm just saying that with the at least be educated and informed. And that's what we try to do. It's like when I first went to EA, and when I came, like, the main thing that I understood was that, all right, this is going to be a process. It doesn't work the way I thought it worked. I thought that I could just go down there with the feedback and then here we go. Everything's going to be done one shot. They could get it done first patch and they could get it. And it's like, no, it don't work that way. So then I learned, and from looking at what happened even from Madden 13, everyone was not on one accord. Even people that were following us back then, everybody was not under one accord, because you had people that were pleased with certain things of the game in Madden 13. Some people were good with the passing. Some people were fine with the way the physics were. Some people loved the way the zone reactions were. I didn't love the way the zones reacted in that game at all. I wanted it to be much better than what it was. And even still, Madden with Madden 18, it still isn't better than 2K5. And I've made video feedback pointing that out to them. And it's like, and I mean, I have public videos that I'll have coming, you know, that I'm working on too, to make some points and comparisons from games that I play. And it's like, you know, and I've said, I did a video just standalone before. I feel that still now that 2K5 has the best zone coverage out of every football game out, like, that's ever been made.
Hey, let me just put you. Let me just hold on 1 second.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead,
man. Sorry to interrupt. Can you guys see and hear Gedden? Gedden, why don't you chime in?
Oh, go ahead, Gedden. Go ahead, bro.
We're doing a mic session now. So wait a second.
All right, hold on.
While we're waiting for people to come back, I just want to rewind.
Still can't hear you? Wow.
What? You have some weird, like, dark screen going on. I don't know what.
Fine.
Oh, wait a second. Can you guys hear him now? Try it now.
You?
Maybe that's the problem.
What happened?
I just did something that might. It said put you in broadcast, but I don't know. I guess you were hidden from the broadcast for some reason. Let's see. Can you guys hear him now?
All right. So yeah, you show up on the thing on the stream there.
Damn, all those gems I was dropping, bro. All them gems I was dropping. Nobody heard them.
Listen, man, show number 6, and I still don't know what the hell I'm doing with these controls, man.
There you go.
So real quick, going back to what you were saying.
Go ahead, man.
Because I thought I heard, I was trying to do 10 different things at once, but I thought I heard you say, did you say that Madden is Did you say Madden's better than 2K5, or you say it's not?
No. I said that. No. I said in regards to the zone play. Talking about the zone play, I said 2K5 has the best zone play out of all of the games. Like out of all of them, out past, present, like at this point, because players still, regardless of what zone defense I call, even if it's a play that I know is the wrong defensive zone play, they still keep moving around looking for work. In Madden, you still got dudes that stand flat-footed after they cover to a spot, and then they go back to a neutral spot and just stand there, and you sail the ball over, for like 20, 30-yard drops. So it's like, I don't have a problem if you make the play, but at the same time, I want to see guys try to cover, extend beyond what their zone call is. I'm not saying dudes should be ripping and running all over the field, but I'm saying logically from where your position is, I want to see players space or position themselves better based upon what the offense is bringing to you, instead of it just being more of a uniform, okay, purple zones are supposed to drop here, so they're just going to drop back. Aqua is going to do this, whether it's a hard flat, soft squat, whatever, quarter flat, middle read, like you want them to do it based upon what the offense is doing and not just when the player enters a zone and then you cover. But beyond that, if you're the only line of defense and the only other guy you got is a safety that's maybe 10, 15 yards away, and there's another receiver coming across his vernacular, then, oh, snap. All right, I'm the only defender. Let me turn this backpedal into a sprint and try to cover that receiver or that tight end or whatever, based off of whatever play I call. That's what I'm saying. I want to see guys react organically off of what's happening in front of them. Not saying you're going to make every play, but it just makes more sense. So that's
Smitty,
that's one example. But yeah, go ahead though.
For that one example, because I don't know exactly what the question was. I was in and out.
All right.
In your opinion or your knowledge, because you actually do have knowledge, you work with EA. Why do we see somewhat stuff like that in other games, but we don't see that with Madden? What's going on?
I mean, that I can't answer. If I knew exactly what it was, then I would be able to speak on it as far as what it would take for him to get it right, but I don't know. See,
have you spoke to Oldenburg, Rex, or anyone, Donnie Moore, about stuff exactly like that? What have they said about it?
I'll send them the feedback, and like what I was saying before. I guess you weren't in it. You weren't in at the moment, but what I said was that I made videos about it, and I send it to them, and then after that, I have to see what it is that gets done, as far as how they go about building on it. Because let me see what I started pointing this stuff out from, say, Madden 17 going into 18, and from what they did between both, like going from 17 to 18, the main thing that you have is how players react when they react to the ball being thrown. So it's like they have better reaction times to the ball being thrown, but it's not to the extent of like what I just laid out with that example there. Like you're not seeing guys just straight, okay, bump the zone at this point. This is what's going on in front of me. I'm going to make a direct beeline on that play, and that's it. Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to see happen. Like not necessarily just those plays where they read it and just make the play like they see the QB and they just see it all the way and they jump it. But I want to see guys go beyond what they're doing in their zone assignment. And as my daughter comes in the room here, and I want to see guys play like, if you're like I said, if you're the only line of defense, right? It's you and there's you and a safety, and there's like 15 yards, right? And he's got a receiver streaking, like two receivers streaking. You got one that's heading towards the safety, and you got a tight end that's not as far in his route progression. Instead of playing in your zone and then just letting him go, turn around and start covering him or try to cover. I could live with that because it's like, dang, you know what? My linebacker's not that good, but yet he logically tried because there's nobody else back there except that safety, and he's already got one. You know, you're not going to leave him on an island. So it's like I want to see the logical elements beyond that, beyond just what color zones they play. I want to see that play out.
So I'm sorry, my bad. Just to kind of go back to what I was asking you, you know, talking directly to Rex, because you do have a straight beeline to him. How long you been a game changer again with Sim?
Like
F-ball? How long you been
like 6,
like
what is it?
5, 6, 7 years, right?
5, 6 years.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've had conversations about this crazy long ago, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm not going to say that you just started looking at zone coverage or whatever coverage now this year. We were talking about zone coverage when we were all the sim standard, right? We spoke about those type of things. So me logically, if you're telling somebody until you're blue in the face, you're making videos, you're sending stuff to them, I mean, either they're going to do it or they're not. And, you know, I'm sorry, but the game itself is indicative of what they're trying to do. And what they're trying to do is not make a simulation game. They may try here and there, but, you know, the game speaks for itself, you know, and, you know, it's just that, you know, you read blogs and blogs sound great. Regular Dave pointed this out. Blogs sound great about zone coverage, how they're going to play the run and all this type of stuff. I remember in Madden 16 or even 15, people were getting amped to how the defense was going to play gap assignments. You get the game and it's playing exactly the same, you know, as it did either last year or with slight improvement. You know, I don't know, man. It's EA got some kind of something going on, and it ain't simulation football. But Javo, was this the EA Madden innovation a segment, or it was just a general talk about Madden?
No, we we just kicked it off. I asked Smitty about, you know, if he had any topics that he wanted to discuss, and then we just discussed. He said he's just here to be on the show. So
Right.
we jumped into just me sharing my thoughts about, you know, how I felt about them being game changers and the game changer program, and kind of like how I feel about Madden, and the game's not really anywhere near where I think it should be, and there's bugs in the game and glitches, and I think, and then Smitty went on to just kind of give, you know, his general, I guess, current state of affairs and how things are progressing and where he feels the game needs to improve, and
okay,
kind of where we left it. But yeah, so I wanted to make a quick comment though, if you don't mind, because obviously, you know, I think one of the biggest concerns we have in the community, Smitty, is that, you know, it all started back with Apex, right? We can all agree that Apex was the one that kicked this whole entire football breakdown, you know, vision, or, you know, this whole genre that we have where people are breaking down football plays and trying to, you know, fight for a better product and really give feedback to the developers. And, you know, after he started doing that, other people started to pick up. We had Versus that was out there that did a lot of videos, and I think Smitty stepped away, so I don't know if he's going to hear this.
Yeah, he took his headphones off.
But I'll keep going. But the bottom line is, you know, we had all these people that started this, and then we had the Sim Standard come together, and all of you guys probably know the history of this. So if you follow us, then I'm sure you know what happened. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest frustration, obviously, we're all frustrated with the fact that the NFL has partnered with a company that can't produce a game that is the quality of a game that's over 12, 13 years ago. You know, ESPN 2k5 came out in 2004, and we're in 2017. We're in Madden 18. So you're talking 13 years ago, we had not just one zone coverage element. We had many elements and many features about a game that to this day trump what we have in Madden. And if you go back and look at 2K5, they were way ahead of their time. People like Sean Lee, who's an AI developer who I've talked to that works for NBA 2K now. He was one of the AI guys in NFL 2K, and that was their, that game was their baby. It was their everything, and they did things that were beyond the scope of. You back, Smitty?
There he is.
Let me see.
Oh wait, I can't hear him.
I can't hear you.
No, I muted my own mic.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
My own mic. Well, yeah, no, I had to step away for a sec.
So what I was saying, Smitty, was I was just kind of going through the evolution of where we are today and how it all started with Apex, and then we've gone through the Sim Standard, and we have Moody's, and you had the Versus back then. You had all these people that have been making breakdown videos. Gedden, myself, I do little things here and there, but at the end of the day, we all have been screaming and yelling for a better product. And we look at a game that was over 13 years ago that was made that still has many things that are better than the current next gen football title that we have to live with if we want a next gen title, and that's the Madden 18 game. And you have the franchise mode that we know was the best mode, I think, to this day out of any football game in history. We have, like you mentioned, the zone coverage. We have the player movement. They weren't perfect because back then they kind of moved on a swivel. They didn't really have the movement that APF had, or even the movement that Backbreaker had for all intents and purposes. So, but the game was 3 years older than APF, so I give it a little bit of slack. Look where they came from 2K5 to APF in terms of the animations, right? Now everything else was left behind from between APF and 2K5. But the point that I'm trying to make with all this is that yes, we've had some changes of command at EA. We've had different people in the driver's seat. We've had the Ian Cummings of the world, and then we had Rex Dixon come in. I guess it was Madden 11, Madden 10, Madden 12, somewhere around there. You can let us know when that was. But Rex Dixon came in, and 13. Okay, so Rex Dixon came in on 13, and now we're on 18. So he's been there for 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 6 different titles he's been a part of. We all know that the suits are trying to put money in the shareholders' hands. We know that it's a profit-making company. They're about the profit first and the gameplay second, in my opinion, and from what we've seen. If they can it's a fact. If they can make $1 over giving us what we want to have as simulation guys, they're going to go after the $1. I feel they could go after both and get both, but that's a different conversation. I guess the point that I'm trying to make here is I think that this is bigger than Game Changers. This is bigger than Rex Dixon. This is bigger than Rex Dixon's boss. This is probably 2 or 3 levels above his boss that is really driving the vision and the priorities over at EA. I worked at EA. I was behind the scenes at EA. I know friends that still work at EA, and I know a lot of things that are happening inside the ropes. I've gone out and tested the game at EA because I live here in Orlando. And I think these guys have 2 problems, at least 2 or 3, and I'll end here. One is the fact that I just mentioned, the executives, they want something different, something that's going to make them money and a quick buck, not roll up your sleeves and rebuild the game and make it what it should be. No, they want to Band-Aid the game and put the NFL stamp on it, put the mud out there, and get that digital revenue. Number one. Number two, I don't think they have the engineers and the talent to compete with the people over at 2K and the guys that are over at 2K. You got Scott O'Gallagher, who went from EA to 2K, and 2K is not perfect, but you hear some of the stories that have gone back and forth. And I think that there's a talent gap between 2K and EA, and not only the talent, but the engine. And you just went to Frostbite, right? So maybe they're going to improve, but the engine and all of the core legacy flaws that are in the game are, you're taking this huge spider web of code, which I've dealt with in my experience in my career in many companies, and you have this technical debt that you're dealing with and you can't just push a button and unravel it and refactor the entire thing. You have to take this spider web and put bolt-ons onto it to make it fly and try to improve it. But you're only going to go as far as the spaghetti code will let you go, right? So you don't have that scope and that scalability as you would have if you were to rewrite the entire thing. So I think that they have technical debt, talent issues, and then they have the executive vision that's, I think, skewed from what we want. Those are the three major things that I believe are culprits to where we are. And you guys going out there and doing what you do, that's fine. That's great. You guys can do whatever you want. We don't think that you should, you could go out there and try to improve the product. If it happens to get better, then that's great. But what we don't want Rex. We don't want any of those guys to think that any of us simulation guys who appreciate the backbreaker, the APF, the 2k5, we don't want those guys to dare think that the game is anywhere near to the satisfaction that we want and we deserve as a football community. And if you guys are going out there, we want you guys to represent us and make sure that word is spoken, because I don't want those guys to say that they love their gameplay. I've heard Rex Dixon say that his gameplay is on point and they're moving on to different areas. So I think he's got things backwards, and I don't know what you guys are telling them out there, but things aren't matching up with what we want. And it's been 6 years since Rex has been on the game.
I mean, what Rex chooses to say is what Rex chooses to say. It ain't got nothing to do with a conversation that I have with him. I can't control what that man chooses to say. So the thing is, we've said it. We made it. You said what? He's his own man. He's his own man. I mean, who's supposed to tell him what he's supposed to and what he's not supposed to say in his own time, in his own context? He can say whatever he wants.
Let me ask you this question real quick, Smay.
That's got nothing to do with me.
Do you agree? And I'll let you go. I was just wanted to see what your thought was when he stepped up back in, I think it was E3, and he called out 2K and told them to go get the license, and he challenged them, knowing that they can't get the license. How did you feel? How do you feel about that comment that he made? Do you think that he should have said that or no? What do you think?
He could, no, as far as the whole licensing thing.
Yeah, like what do you think about him taking a stab at a company that we love their game? I mean, what when they can't make an NFL license game. I mean, how do you feel about him talking like that? Because a lot of times he throws out these crazy remarks, and you just said right now he's a man. Honestly, you can't control what he says, but you can control. You can tell us what your opinion is of what he says.
Yeah, I was glad he said that, because I said that at E3. Like, we did a video on that back at E3. I was like, yes, I'm glad he said that, because okay, with him being inside like that and him being in, and if he goes ahead and says that, then what that tells me is, oh, so 2K can get involved. So get involved. And if you're not going to get involved, then why aren't you getting involved? So that's my question.
So let's play politics with that.
Get involved, then get involved.
Wait. Okay, wait. Let's play politics with that. Let's play politics with that. And I'm going to get rather political. When alcohol first became legal, you know what the government tried to do? They tried to control it by making the license extremely expensive and then poisoning, literally, you can look it up, poisoning people with alcohol, right? They actually did that. This is what our government has done, right? And this is, yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but that's what happened, right? In terms of competition. Now, who's to say, because he works so close with EA, that EA spoke to the NFL, okay, let's open up the license secretly, but let's make it hella expensive, and let's do some other legalities that makes it impossible for another company to actually make an NFL game, but it's an open license. As long as you have the money, you get your legalities correct, even though we've risen the bar way high, because we could afford it, because we have all these other revenues like mud and whatever else. Who's to say EA then conspired with the NFL to do something like that? So for him to even say something like that, and for whomever to then go out and say, even in retrospect, to say, hey, Yeah, go ahead, make a game. Why aren't you guys getting involved? Well, what if they have legality saying you can't even talk about obtaining the NFL license until you have the NFL license? Stuff like that happens when somebody is suing somebody and they sign whatever paper. I forgot what the actual form is. They can't even talk about the lawsuit after they've been sued or if they won a lawsuit. Stuff like that happens, right? And we're talking about a got to say, probably 100 million, even $1 billion industry, right? Who's to say that EA ain't playing that dirty? Who's to say the NFL isn't playing that dirty? All I know is there's money to be made. And if the NFL was open enough to have that license and 2K could obtain it, damn well they would. So let's not even play the card of, oh, why aren't they getting involved? Let's blame 2K. No. It's a business, right?
Okay.
2K got money. Wait. 2K
so Sony got more money. Sony got more money than 2K. Why didn't they get involved? They can't afford it.
Didn't they just go bankrupt except for the gaming division? Sony has their hands in baseball. They're dominant, and they're the only company that's making a baseball game. Who's to say how much money they're spending on that they could then spend more money on the NFL? The NFL license is I can guarantee you is way more expensive than the MLB license. MLB is still doing okay, but it's like the third most popular sport in America. Right? It's last. You got the NFL, NBA, then MLB the last time I checked. So who's to say that their license isn't so expensive or not? We have to have hard data. And the only hard data we have is there's one company making a football game that's very half-assed. The reason why it's half-assed, Javo pointed out, saying that, it's all about profits. How do you have less talent yet keep producing a game? Your less talent isn't getting as paid probably as much as other companies. Right? It might be less people. I don't know how many people work on Madden. Maybe you could tell us. But other games have 300 employees working on one game. I think 2K had, I can't say the number because I can't remember, but it was a lot of people working on NBA 2K18, right? EA could afford all that because they still make a ton of money off of Madden, an enormous amount of money off of Madden, and then a lot of money off of MUT. So I'd rather just talk about the game that's out now instead of getting back and forth with a company that hasn't made a football game in 10 or so plus years. And that game, those two games are just so happen to be better than the game that we have out available now.
Let me just chime in real quick, guys. So does anybody here, because I don't think the license was available when Rex made that comment. Has anybody gotten any confirmation that the license was even open to be purchased by anybody? Because I don't think it was. I think that he just made that comment to stir up the waters and and challenge them. But I don't think that they had an opportunity to buy the license, unless I missed something. Does anybody have that information? Because I think it was locked down. Period. They had a contract that was locked down, and he knew damn well that 2K could not go out and do anything with the football. They can go out and make a football game, but they can't make a licensed football game, an NFL licensed football game, because the license was locked down. That's the way I interpreted it. So he was basically just, playing games, and I think he, if he was doing that, then I don't respect the guy for the things that he has said. That's just one of a few or many that I've heard him say that, diminishes his respect, but do you guys know what the answer is to that? Anybody in the comments or anybody on the line? I mean, I think it was locked down. I don't think it was a matter of money.
I mean, Smitty, not to come down on you or anything like that. And I'm trying to keep this as respectful as possible, by the way. I might, I'm just passionate, right? But Smitty, I mean, again, you spoke to Rex for going on 6 years now, 5 years now, 4 years, whatever. Have you asked about the NFL license, or is it shrouded in secrecy? I believe it's shrouded in secrecy, even from the public, from everybody. They don't want anyone to know.
That could be the case. I don't know.
Well, have you asked them though?
Yeah, like I've asked about it in the past, but like I said, I don't have a direct answer.
What did he say? He just looked at you, shrugged his shoulders, and walked out the room.
Yep, that's what he did. Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did. That's what he did.
No, he did not.
That's what he did, Gedden. Like,
come on, that big guy. Come on, Schmitty. Come on, City. He didn't do that. Sorry.
Yeah,
well,
that's
all right,
exactly what he did. That's what he did. So,
well, listen.
There's a direct answer. I mean, we can tap dance on it all day. You want to keep tap dancing, we could do that, but there's no definite answer. It's as simple as that. Like, if there's no direct answer, there's no direct answer. So I don't have a direct answer on that. So
okay, so if that's a direct answer, right? A direct answer is an indirect answer, not even an answer. Just like you said, tap dancing, right? So if he's tap dancing, what is that telling you about the license then?
Don't tell me anything. Actions speak louder than words. So when I don't see action being taken, what is that supposed to mean to me then? It doesn't mean anything until I see some action. Exactly. I'm telling you that, like, this is the narrative. No action taken, nothing else there's nothing else to talk about. Well, until somebody else steps forward and decides to make that game. Now, somebody come out and make another NFL licensed game, then so be it. Bet.
So wait.
Now there's another game. Sweet.
You just said that he was happy, and I don't want to have like an argument, anything like that. We got other topics to talk about. We didn't even get into our first topic, really. But you did just say that you were happy that he spoke out and said, "Hey, 2K, make a game, blah blah blah, bring it," or whatever he said. So then you thought that this guy's an insider. That means the license is available. But you just said actions speak louder than words. So the action of 2K not being able to make a game, and they would like to make a game. They hint at it or they allude to it all the time. I think even Rob Jones said in an interview with Hip Hop Gamer. Huh?
Why haven't they?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
Rob Jones said he has Rob Jones, right? He said that we have a lot of guys who would love to make an NFL game, but it has to make sense for 2K, right? And the license has to open up. And he just said that, was it this year? So if he said that this year, that means Rex was talking crap, knowing another company can't make a game. So, everybody want to say that Rex is a nice guy.
Just said that. Okay, so you just said that. So now you're saying that in 2017, he just said that. But so what happened in 2015? So between 2015 and 2016, what took place? Did we know that?
Obviously,
we don't know. So unless there's some definition,
there's one game. There's one game. There's one game.
So you know for a fact what 2K chose to do and not do.
I know because there's one game. What year are we in?
No, you don't.
We're 2017, right? Was there an NFL 2K game? Forget about 2K.
Forget about 2K.
Wait. No.
Bringing it up.
So now let's forget about 2K. Let's talk about other.
Don't say forget it, and you keep bringing it up. So if you're gonna if you're gonna stay on it, then stay on it. Smitty. Otherwise, don't talk about it.
Smitty,
get it,
Smitty.
Get it.
Come on, stop, man. Bro. Stop, man.
You doing the same thing like you're doing on the phone, man. Doing the same thing,
Come
bro.
on, man.
Come on, do better. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
I'm waiting on you. Come on. Like,
look, I got people in the comments saying the license is still exclusive to EA, man. I ain't the only one. Get out of here, man. Come on. It's obvious. It's obvious because if 2K wanted to make a game, they went out there and got the WWE license within this time. You think that they really value the WWE license more than they value the NFL, though the license was dirt cheap? Yeah, but don't you think they would have saved up that money and got the NFL license and started to make money off of that? Come on.
Listen, man. I'll tell you guys this. Let me just say this real quick.
Go ahead, Havo.
Go ahead, Havo.
Havo ain't speaking a while. Havo ain't speaking a while.
Yeah, let me just say this real quick. So like you mentioned before, Smitty, actions speak louder, right? So if we look at the actions, this is what Gedden was trying to get to. If you look at from the day that Rex made that comment up until now, we have not seen another NFL license console football game. So we know that nobody else has gotten the license, has obtained the license. We don't know why. We don't know. I mean, we probably can find out legally how this has happened, because there's probably contracts out there. But let's just assume for
that's the point. That's the point right there, Javo. Exactly that. That's what I'm saying. There's no definite reason. It's just, oh, this is exactly why. Like, no, that's not absolute. So it's like, why is it? That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
You also said actions speak louder than words. You said actions speak louder than words, right?
But you spoke confirmation without any confirmation at all. You just said, "Oh, well, that's the reason why this is why it is," like with no confirmation. And I'm asking
actions speak louder than words. But actions speak louder than words.
So what action did they not take that you can confirm?
Non-action, because they're not able to. But let's go to this. Let's go to the first topic. Yeah, Javo, you want to go to the first topic? Let's go to the first topic.
Let me just finish this. Let me finish this real quick. Let me finish it. So if let's just assume, we know that 2K wants to make a game. We know they want to make a game. We don't know, like you said, Smitty, we don't know for 100% fact what went down and why the NFL license has stayed with EA and no one else has been able to jump in line. 99% sure is the way I feel that the license has not been made available, period, to any other company except for EA. That's my assumption based off of what I see and what I experience and what I know about the industry. And a second thing I wanted to mention was that, and we'll bring it up and you can ask us questions about it too. When we were brought on to be part of the Joe Montana team, for whatever that game turned out to be, we all can have our own comments about that. But the one thing that Gedden and I were exposed to behind the scenes, and we can't really say too much about it, but we were exposed to a lot of the legal, not the documents, but a lot of the legalities behind the EA contract and behind the EA and NFL deal. And I know that Joe Montana they were trying to investigate what it would take to get the NFL license. And we know that it was not sitting there on a platter waiting for somebody to get. Not only that, one of the things, I don't even know if I can mention it. Maybe I can't, I'm not sure, but I'm going to mention it anyways. One of the things that we heard, and I think this goes, you can talk to your guys at EA about this. If any company were to get the NFL license, EA has the rights to that company's code, and they have the rights to be able to look at their code and dictate what they can or cannot make as part of their game. That's black and white legal terms that I know for a fact have been disclosed and that are true to fact. So any company out there, if they had the opportunity to get the NFL license, they have to hand over all of their code, everything that they're making, they have to hand it over to EA and say, here, EA, steal from us and see what we're doing. That's a fact, 100% fact. So that's how shady and scumbaggish EA is, that they have the balls to sit there and say, if you're going to make this NFL game, we want to see your code. And that's a fact.
And
that's happening. So I don't know if
makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense how you see these sports games. They share ideas all the time. It wasn't back in the day where you had one sports game that did X, B, and C great, and then you had another sports game that did A, E, F great. You know, a lot of these sports games are all trying to do the same thing, and it just seems like EA is always the one late to the ball game, so to speak. But when I heard that, I was like, yeah, I can see that.
I guess the part, this is the last time I'm gonna say that. I guess the part that gets us all riled up, Smitty, is that I don't understand why we are so dissatisfied with Madden, and I don't hear that same feeling from you or your guys. I don't hear that, and maybe it's because you have a different take, or you have a different level of patience, or you have a different level of expectations. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but the reason why we get so frustrated is because we feel like you used to be the same way we feel. And all of a sudden you're kind of like cool with, you know, you're okay with where Madden is and you want it to be better, but you're not angry or you're not upset and you're not, I don't know. Like I get this, I feel like you almost like, it's not that you're defending EA, but I get this feeling that like, I guess you're employed by them. That's the way it feels, you know, and you can't really talk the way you would normally talk. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you just change the way you feel about the thing. But, you know, and I don't think complaining is going to get us anywhere with the game. But I think that constructive criticism and holding these guys accountable, like that Star Wars community holding EA accountable, we got to hold these people accountable. And if we're allowing them to get into our brains, get into our minds, get into our, you know, our community, which they've gotten into our community and really take us for a ride, that's when we get crazy and we get upset, because it's like, how the hell can they get away with this? And you guys are out there and it's like, I don't hear that same anger. I don't hear, if I walked into the room and I saw Rex to his face, I don't even know how that would end. And I'm very professional. You know? But I can't see myself talking to Rex on a conversation and be able to walk out with us shaking hands, be like, okay, I'll be here for another 4 or 5 years. There's no way. I won't even probably be there for another, they'll probably kick me out. But that's what I don't understand. That's what I want. That's what I kind of would love for you to share with us and say, really, what's going on from your perspective and your guys' mindset.
Play with it. Okay. All right. Well, you know, back on Sim Standard, you know, started February 2011, right? And when we were on, before Madden 12 came out, we were on there saying all the things we said, doing the videos and all that stuff. Matter of fact, we did so many videos showcasing 2K points and other games and stuff. People called us the 2K standard and everything for a little while, you know, because we were just showing so much 2K. But it was like, no, we make these points and we state things the way we state them is because Madden should be much better than what it is. And the interesting thing about that was that when Madden 12 came out, people started calling us sellouts and stuff like that then, and saying we were getting paid and all that, and saying we were tripping because dudes were talking positive about Madden 12. So now mind you, nobody went to anybody's studio, and that talk that we do today, that was happening when Madden 12 came out. But when we talked positive about it, that started that ball rolling of these dudes ain't real. They bought out and all that jazz started happening. Not everybody was doing it. It wasn't a snowball yet like that, but it was still happening. And the thing is that while, yes, we liked what they did and we were like, yo, we're enjoying the game, having fun, blase splee, all that good stuff. But we were still saying like, man, it's not enough. They didn't do enough. It's not all the way there, but I can't deny what it is that they did. Now let's see how this keeps on. Let's see if this keep on going. And on top of that, again, you was there. You saw it. Yeah, heck, a lot of y'all that remember saw it. The petition, all the videos, all the views. Heck, it had all kinds of views. No one signed. No one was serious. Remember Gridiron Game Pack? No one bought. No one did anything on the Kickstarter, but we so mad though, right? I even made reference to the Mass Effect community and said, look, these people bought the game and they were upset with I think it was the ending of the game they were upset with. And they got money up and said, here, we will give you guys the money to make a better ending or whatever. And EA went ahead and did what they did as far as addressing the community in that regard. And then now you look at, so then that's why I said, when you look at this community, and matter of fact, shout out to Resolve. Resolve did a petition on one of his own videos. He's shown that reporter that talked about, I think it's from the Sporting News or whatever, that talked about 2K5. Posted a petition, visited it a few months later. People barely signed it. Community ain't serious. serious about the community, serious about talking smack about people, but not about making the game the way it needs to be. So if I need to, so I'm like, so seeing that my personal feeling was, okay, bet we're gonna get the petitions, we're gonna do this, we're gonna take all these actions, and we're gonna make them moves. What I found out on the flip side was our community doesn't have the conviction that the Star Wars community has, that the Mass Effect community has, and that was shown by the lack of action. What in comparison to those guys, and the messed up part about it is, yeah, this is another thing too. I say every single year, if the game's not for you, don't buy. I said that on Sim Standard before and after going to EA. Before and after being a game changer. And I say it every year. As a matter of fact, I say it as soon as the season ends on top of that. And I say it occasionally when I stream. So I say it on our show too. But when we make those statements and say it, people tweeting at me talking about, nah, we can't do that. But on Sim Standard channel, man, y'all buying the game. Why y'all buying the game? If we want change, we can't buy it. But if you buying it, and you saying that ain't a solution, so how can you get upset? How can you get that mad? How can I? I'm pissed. I'm angry, but I bought it anyway. So why did you? When you don't have to do it. And since people give me this, they put me on this pedestal and say, oh, we listen to your words, Smitty. Okay, then if the game ain't right and you mad, don't bother buying the game then. Wait until rent the game, Redbox it, GameStop rental it if you got to, whatever. But don't make that purchase. Don't give the profit. Man, I went ahead and bought Madden. Man, I bought these packs and didn't get what I want. You know how many times over I see that from people that do that exact same thing every single year? So when you're telling me that I'm okay with the way things are, I'm not okay, and it's not like I'm not giving Madden a pass. I do I have a level of understanding, and I've gained knowledge of how the process even works. I didn't know that before. So if I have a lead dev telling me that the game isn't where it needs to be and there's more that they need to do, okay. Now if he told me Madden 15 is everything, it's all set, there's nothing more left to do, oh, we'd have a serious problem. But knowing that it's not there, it's like, okay, well, you know what, guys, this is what I'm going to advise to you from the position that I'm in. I'm telling you right now, there are going to be people, and this is where it made the hard balance at first for me as well, because people saw on Sim Standard starting from there, like what I was saying earlier. I think Gedden, you may have been out at that time, but what I was saying to Javo was that there are people that were pleased with certain elements of the game that I'm like, oh, you're okay with that. You like the pass blocking, even though the pocket's not forming the way it's supposed to form yet, but you're okay with that. You like this, you like that. And there were people, it was kind of all over, not completely all over the place, but to an extent, it was like some people are cool with this, other people are cool with that. And we're not talking about casuals here. We're talking about people that are in this community that were co-signing in agreement with what we were saying, not just back then on that channel, but even now. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? The best solution I could come up with, I know it's not really, it's not this mind-blowing concept, but why not just rent the game? And if it ain't hitting, don't touch. Because, they didn't have demos. They quit putting the demos out, which I don't like that. But no, I'm not talking about competitive players resolved. I'm talking about in this community, bro. Literally seeing trust. I don't call everybody out. I just see the behavior happen. Not from everybody. Don't get me wrong. Not every single person is doing it, but it happens though. But
so
yeah, go ahead, Gedden.
Okay. So what I want to say is, Smitty,
I'm listening.
All right, cool. You brought up a lot of great points, and if I've never seen any of your videos or knew the history or anything like that, it would sound like you're saying you don't like the game, don't buy it. You're an advocate for not buying the game first because, you know, your standard isn't exactly met. But this is the flip side to that. If you're saying don't buy the game, yet you're streaming it whatever amount of times per month, week, whatever, playing Connected Careers or Sim Standard League or whatever the case is in Madden, you're playing it, and you know you have your gripes here and there, right? But as you said before, actions speak louder than words. So if you're saying don't buy the game, but I enjoy the game, and it just so happens the name of the channel that I represent is called the Sim Standard. And you just said, oh, you're happy with the O-line not working the way it's supposed to, right? You're okay with that? Okay. Well, you know, I'm just gonna ask you the same thing. You're okay with sloppy zone, bad animations, horrible running animations, no quarterback throwing animations, and all these things to still be working with EA and still be, you know, I mean, and again, you know what? I didn't not even again, because I haven't said this, but I'm not trying to blame you or Sim F-ball, right? I don't want anyone to think that, right? Who I am blaming is EA. EA will love for us to bicker and fight while they still make their billions.
But
right, the problem is wait, no, I'm not done. I'm not done. The problem is EA. The only thing that we can do, as you said, Star Wars community is not buying Battlefront 2, right? Mass Effect, they got money together, whatever, to make the ending different, or whatever the case. I think that's insane. They should just, you know, not buy the game or, you know, whatever. But I don't think you should give any corporation more money to make their product better. If the product isn't good, don't give them anything. But if you're saying that, then why are you showcasing Madden all throughout your channel? A whole lot of EA stuff. You're giving out beta codes, is the last time I checked. You know, so like you got to understand that people will see the hypocrisy. And I'm not throwing shade at you, anything like that. I say we talked about spades earlier, right? Call a spade a spade. You know, if you're saying that, you know, our community ain't serious about anything, don't rep the community. Rep streaming gaming, right? Change your name. It shouldn't be the Sim Standard. It should just be whatever else. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, but it should be something else, right? I don't think that the right avenue is like where you started is where you started, and where you are now is completely different. So, you know, I would just say do what you do, get your numbers up, make your money, and leave it at that. You know, if you're not really about,
it's not about making money. It's not about getting stats up like that. You know what I'm saying? If that happens, it happens. But I've been sitting at 2,400 subs for numerous years. I just got it up to 2,800. It's not about numbers. It's about the movement at the end of the day, dude. And see, the thing is, from everything you're saying,
wait.
From everything, no. If you see, you gotta do homework, cuz. If you asking the questions you asking all been answered, pimp. No, I'm gonna let you do homework.
What's your movement?
That's a homework assignment. Find out the movement.
Okay.
Well, people
the only thing I see is 4-hour videos of streaming and having people on the show that are much people. That's all I see. But go ahead.
Exactly. So, what you choose to see. What you
choose to tell us. We're asking you right now. Yo, Apex, what's up, Apex? Yo, is Apex muted?
No, I don't know what up, though.
No, I think he's here. Let's see.
He's there.
Everyone. Oh, okay.
I see a mic muted on his screen.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah, you gotta unmute him. There you go.
Yeah,
here it is.
All right, there you go.
Fellas, what's going on? Part of my voice, yo. What's going on, people?
What's up, Apex?
Oh, feel better, bro. Feel better, man.
Nah, it's something else. Yo,
okay.
The bottom line is this. Whatever happened in the past, it happened. But The sim community, it lost its balls a long time ago.
I agree.
That's the bottom line. We used to be cutting edge. We didn't care about that stuff. It's all about take home. At the end of the day, the devs could be cool as hell.
Let go.
The devs could be cool as hell, but it's about take home. Right now, I haven't even played Madden. I know nothing about Madden. I don't care about Madden no more. I gave up on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm really about that 2K stuff right now because I want them because they have a foundation. Like they have layered programming, and I believe that not the foundational programming, but the top layer of 2K programming is garbage. And they're doing that because they're catering to the cheesers in the community because the cheese community is huge. And I have to assume it's the same way with Madden, that the cheese community is the thing that is ruling the whole community. So
the whole simulation aspect.
Yeah, so EA has to cater to them, right? Now, but my problem with EA in the past when I really used to watch it and pay attention to it was its foundational core programming, like run animations and how things animate. I really wasn't like the difficulty. I couldn't even get to the difficulty because I couldn't get past running. Like it was so basic for me, so I gave up on it. And other people, they still do it, and that's cool. But the community has to step up. That's just that's it's a real simple message. The community has, and I have to say this: the game changers are not part of the community. I mean, I have to honestly say that. I'm not trying to throw no shade towards anybody. I don't need to. I mean, I'm cool with Smitty, yo. I mean, look, all you guys are in the YouTube community, yo. I feel like we're YouTube friends, man. Gedden, Smitty, Versus, even Moody. It's like, bros, all of these people, man. It's like, if we was to meet each other in real life, man, we would be cool. You see what I'm saying? So it's not even about, it's a disagreement. It's a fundamental disagreement about this topic, which is really not that serious. I mean, shout out to Smitty, man. It's like his mom's went through a great thing. Trust me, I lost my mom's, man. And that's real life. So it's like, we should be grown enough to keep the shade out because it's real easy to shade online. But the game changers are not part of the sim community. They can't be. Like just like how Czar, he's not part of the 2K community anymore. He's 2K. And even if Smitty and them don't get paid, they are liaisons to EA. No matter how you say it, we could fancy talk around it, but when we want answers, we go to the game changers, and they tell us chill out or it's coming, and they tell us stuff that EA needs us to know. So because of that, they can't be a part of that the sim community. They are rooting. They want the sim community to be happy. The game changers, they want that. They want the game to be sim. They know sim football. They know all of this stuff. So I'm not even trying to question the acumen or anything like that. But fundamentally, at the end of the day, the sim community has to know that they need to step up if they want something done or just give up. And I gave up on Madden because it's just too the fundamental programming. I mean, I feel nothing about it. I don't even know how Madden. I haven't even paid any attention to it whatsoever. And it's just that's my take on it.
Well, those were well-spoken words right there, man. I think you're presenting to everybody, so not sure what happened there. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, and it's no shade, man. There's no shade whatsoever, man. There's no shade whatsoever. Like, yo, like I said, look, Smitty got his daughter there. Yo, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's real life. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, of course. I mean,
when it comes to the sim stuff, man, it's like that's what it went down. EA did a masterful job they did a masterful job at turning the community. You know, it's like that part. Now I'm gonna get you, sucker. When they went down to the state building, they said they were giving out jobs that day. You know, and that's what happened. I mean, it's no shade. It is what happened, yo.
I mean, to be clear, with the Game Changers program, there are less than a handful of people who claim to or is, I guess, sim minded. I think there's a whole lot more either tournament players, a whole lot more even MUT players, and then you got casuals that are game changers. And all phases of the game changers, like you said, Apex, they are liaisons to EA, no matter what type of facet they perceive themselves to be. They all stream games. They all, talk about Madden in a certain kind of way. I think, if I'm going to give props to Smitty or Sim Ball, they actually do critique the game. Nobody's not saying that they don't critique it. Our issue is how things have gone with the game. That's why I tried to say before, I'm not blaming Smitty, or I'm not mad at Smitty. I'm not mad at Sim Ball. Yeah, I'm talking to Smitty or whatever, but I look at EA. EA is the issue. EA is the problem, because they're going to make the game that they want to make, no matter who is a game changer. They can have 100. They can have 101 simulated simhead super game changers out there.
Hey, could I say something? I just want to interject on what you're saying. Well, no, go ahead, finish your point, Gedden. Then I'll come after you.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No matter what type of game changers they got, whatever makes them money, that's the type of game that they're going to make. And 2K is no exception to it. All these corporations are the same. These publishers want to make money, and it's all about driving the dollar, the value high. They want that shareholder money. So that's the issue that we're going through right now. And I think that the only way that we could show EA anything is do what the Star Wars community did, is not buy the game. I agree with Smitty is saying, if you don't like it, don't buy it. I mean, all the people that I on my Twitter don't like the game, yet half of them bought the game. And I'm saying, how can we buy the game and we're saying we don't like it and we want them to improve? They're not going to ever improve the game the way we want it to, or even just improve the game, period. If people continue to buy the game, you got to stop buying the game. And, anybody with a voice, if you agree with what I'm saying, then I would hope that you would say the same thing. But again, the game changers, EA has their program, and that's about it. Havo, do you have anything else to say on this particular topic? Because we got all these topics to go through. We ain't touched not one of them.
No, I mean, this show obviously has changed directions, which I'm fine with that, because I think we're talking about some serious topics here. And I know that Smitty wanted to interject, so I'll let him jump on.
No, I was just gonna say, come on. No, I was just gonna say here. Like, don't cry now. But we're also gonna say,
don't they have the special timing to start crying at the wrong time?
Yeah, like, come on, man. But no, what I was gonna say, piggybacking off of what you were saying, Gedden, was that, see, my thing is this. And this was something I spoke about it on my show a week or so ago. We talked about microtransactions specifically, because when that Star Wars, news was fresh. And the thing about it is that I don't mind you putting, like, you could have your packs and whatever, you could have that in there, but don't make it a necessity. Make it complimentary. Like, I could still build my team. Yeah, I have to put a little bit more work in to build it if I choose to play MUT, or even with Star Wars, for example. It'll take me longer to get there, but at the same time, I can still pay, like, I could still put some money toward it and build, but it's not like I have to do it. You still gonna get bread. And that's the whole thing. And this is a point, me and Sim, we talk about this occasionally on the show, is that if you do it the right way, the money will still come. You'll still get the billions and all that stuff. You'll get the bread, but there's a big difference between when you force it like that, like how it's basically being done. Because when those Madden tournaments start 2 days, they start their qualifications the day of. No. Let that go. They start their qualifications for tournaments the day the game comes out. So it's like, if I'm going to start with this early pack and go ahead and start building and everything or whatever, then, oh man, I got to drop this money right now and I got to buy these packs and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't agree with it. But see, I'm not a MUT player, but I'm just saying I would rather it be a system. And someone had pointed this out in the video, but I'd rather it be like how it was with Madden 04, Madden 05. You know how we used to get the cards. You had your profile and you gained points for doing stuff in games and in franchise and everything. And you had your Madden cards you could unlock. I would like it to be stuff like that. Like just for playing the game, you can gain points, you can gain coins, you can gain stuff or whatever. But regulate those values and make it so that, like I said, even if you do grind, you can still legitimately grind and you can build yourself a team, a legitimate squad. But my thing is, to the way it is right now, the same rule of thumb applies to people that are buying the game and people that are playing MUT. You got dudes tweeting, hey, I threw 3,000-4,000 on the game and I'm cool with it because I got it. When dudes are saying that, they good. They're okay with it. But see me, I'm like, man, look, I needed to be like buying an add-on pack, to a PC game. That's what kind of value it brings to the table. It's not something I have to necessarily enjoy the game, but if I choose to do it, I can go for it. You know what I'm saying? And I could go ahead and get that, or I could buy a pack or whatever if I feel like. But I'm not with that. You're making it's making a play on people, and I mean that's what companies do. That's why you have top corporations for a reason, for the way they position themselves. And this was something that was done, that was put out there. At one point, it was just coins only, that you earn in game. Now they put the money aspect to it, and people are okay with keep buying packs and all that stuff. When if they're really upset about it, they wouldn't buy the packs. They wouldn't do any of that stuff. And that's what you got to make an example out of the tournament. Okay, yeah, you guys are going to set the tournament at this day. Y'all going to start qualifications. Game's not going to look good when people, on screen, when people got these lowly rated squads and they don't have these top end players, because those bars are set so high, and you have to buy bundles or stuff like that in order to get some of those. So it's like that's what I'm saying. It all, at the end of the day, it comes down to the people. It's not just if it's one product, because as we've seen with Star Wars Battlefront, who else is making another Battlefront game at the same time EA did theirs? Nobody. Yet look what these people did. They was like, no, bump that. This is what, we gonna completely go ham on this because of what happened. Because you guys made that decision, and then look what happened. Instant action the week of the game coming out. That's come on. So that's what I'm saying. When I see that kind of action, like what you just said too, Gedden, you got people that all year round bash the game endlessly, then go ahead and buy it at the end of the day. So, and that's why I big shout out. I appreciate Lord Destro. I really appreciate him, because, and I shout him out at times as well on our show, because he will see what's up with Madden, play it or whatever. I don't like it. I'll see what they did. I appreciate it, but not nearly enough for my liking. I'm going to keep rocking on this 2K. I say the same thing to people. I'm pretty sure you guys do too. But when I say the same thing, play the old games or whatever. Man, I got to update rosters and I got to do this and I got to do. So what? Well, that's the same stuff we said when we was first making videos. Hey guys, this is how you update your rosters. Buy this cable, get this, get that, go to this site and get your rosters. And people were okay with it. Now all of a sudden it's not okay to do. So that's why I'll just say, you know what? that's what I just feel like until games get better, and I want to see access get better. I want to see Canadian and hopefully that IMV gaming ain't no scam. So hopefully it's legit. But those other games, I want to see those games all come up because I want to see legitimate choices.
Football,
you said what?
Football history.
Football history, yeah. Cal Anderson's joint too, yeah. I want to see everybody's joint come out and be at a quality level where everybody is on point. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's got something legitimate to play on that's generation worthy. Because I mean, look, TVs we got out here, consoles and PCs we got out here. We don't want a game necessarily that's scaled all the way back like that, even though I do understand the circumstance. I mean, they're not a multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar company. I'm not setting that expectation on them, but I just progressively want to see the game get much better to a point where it's like, hey, I'm streaming this game this day. I'm streaming that game the next day. I want that to happen, you know? So that way there's a trade-off. Just like what we're seeing here with Live and 2K. There's trade-offs. There's things that Live do that are better than 2K and vice versa. So it's like I want to see that stuff legitimately happen, but it's a package that we can all enjoy, whether it's indie or it's a AAA production. So, you know. Yeah. But go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
No, that you
Javo, you want to get into our first topic?
No, I want.
It's good discussion, though. You know, but real talk. This is good discussion.
No, this is good. This is that's why I don't mind, because it's a free forum for everybody to talk and express, you know, topics, and that's why we're here to do this. So topics are there just like with your show, Smitty. They're there as a backup to this. You know, this comes first. So, but I want to just make a couple comments about everything that you kind of just said. So I think that a lot of us agree, Smitty, on the loot boxes and the whole thing with downloadable content. It should not be a necessity. It should be complimentary. I think we can all agree to that. They shouldn't force your hand to spend money. And for people that want to just buy the game and earn and grind their way to those unlockables or whatever. So I think we can all agree with that. The one part that I guess kind of, I don't know, I want to make sure I understand, because I agree, and this is kind of where you were jumping in and out, Smitty, when Apex jumped on. But, you know, I know when Apex got together with you guys to put the Sim standard together, it was about trying to strike while the iron was hot and trying to have this momentum of the Sim standard and the Sim community to demand a better game and to rise up to the point where we can actually have our voices heard. And what happened with Battlefront, like you said, the first week of the game being out, their voices were heard and things were changed. We can all see that and how much that can influence a company to change their game. And the part that I don't understand is that, fine, we have petitions that people have signed. A lot of people haven't signed them. We have people that still go out and buy the game. And we all agree that you got to stop buying the game. If you don't want this game, you want a better game, stop buying the game, show with your dollars. We agree with that. But what I don't understand is that just because we're not at the head count that we want to be at in order to actually make a difference and change and force EA's hand, because we're not at that head count, I don't understand what service you and your boys are providing by all of a sudden abandoning, which is how I feel it is. You're taking away, you're going from being part of the community and being that voice to jumping off and now representing Madden. To me, it doesn't make any sense. If we don't have enough numbers signing petitions, if we don't have enough numbers not buying the game, why would you guys jump off and go become game changers? In the short term, I can understand that you guys want to make the game better. But it's been 4 years since you've been out there, like you mentioned. It's been 6 years since Rex has been on the game. And what I don't understand is that you're 2,400 subs, now 2,800. I know that's not anything in comparison to the multi-million customers that EA gets, but every single vote counts. Just like when we're electing the next president, every single vote counts. And the fact that you guys have kind of disassembled the sim standard, the sim community. That's taken a little bit of the fuel that we had, that Apex started, and it's kind of diminished it a little bit. And now you're kind of jumping over there. So it's like, if you can't beat them, join them, is the kind of mentality that I think that has happened here. So can you kind of just explain to us your thoughts on that? Because like I said, just because they're not signing petitions, why can't we keep pushing harder? Why can't we keep going at EA? Why do we all of a sudden have to lock hands with them and basically join a monopoly? Because we don't have fair competition. Okay, competition based on the factors of price, quality, and service, not on the abuse of near monopoly powers, competitor bashing, predator pricing. That's what the fair competition definition is in the business dictionary, right? We want fair competition. We want the best product to win. And right now, the NFL and EA have, not right now, for the past 13 years, they have joined forces and created what we call a monopoly. And you guys have joined that monopoly. And that's where I feel like this is just backwards. Doesn't make any sense. What do you have to say about that?
Well, number one, that's the NFL's decision to have one person. I mean, like when you look on the field, look at the jersey you're wearing right now. How many people you gonna see on how many of the Bills are you gonna see on Sunday rocking an Adidas jersey on the field? They're only wearing Nike because the NFL said the NFL are the only suitors for their jerseys. It's just like when you look at the on the field, when they do challenges, when they're looking at their playbooks and stuff on the digital pads, they're all surfaces. How many Lenovo tablets are you going to see out there? How many how many iPads are you going to see out there? It's only one. It's because the NFL made that decision. The NFL are the ones that hold the cards as far as making that move. And see, this is the thing. On Sim Standard, when it was this was like when Madden 12, I think it was when Madden 12 was coming out or close to Madden 13 coming out. There was like some kind of collective bargaining agreement issue going on with the NFL and the players union. Something like that was going on back then. And when we said, all right, y'all, let's go at the NFL, everybody was like, whoa, no. You said the NFL? I'm good, dog. Y'all got that. So if that's the vibe, once again, when it comes time to rise up, folk want to sit down. So when I'm seeing that across the board, like, wait, so we mad and we want to do this, right? But we so mad that we don't want to take action.
But you were taking action, Smitty. You guys were taking action.
No. Understand this.
I want to know what you. I want to know what you.
This is my point.
I want to know what you're doing. I don't want to know what.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, though. No, this is part of it, though.
Okay.
This is what that's why I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
From what we were doing back then, it stems from that. So when we're talking about there's only one like we got one option, we got one game. There's only one, NFL. The NFL holds those cards, and we say that. I say that. I would love the NFL to go ahead and open it up. So then that way there's that, whatever kind of exclusivity or whatever the situation is, I want it to be fully open. That's my main goal. I want there to be better games across the board. But what's the situation right now? From what I can see and what I know is that there's only one game. And it's only one company that's able to make the games as far as I know. So when people, like I said, once again, the whole, am I defending or it feels like I'm defending? I'm like, I can't help the perception that people get or people have. But the thing is, like I said, I'm not pleased with, I'm not pleasing 100%. Like, yo, I'm just fully satisfied with everything they've done with the game and it's all good in the hood and nothing else needs to be done. Everybody just enjoy the game. No, I don't do that. You know what I mean? And the reason why I went to EA is because I have that insight and I gained that understanding that I didn't have before. And it was like once that started happening and it's like, if they keep inviting me, I'm going to keep on coming. And I'm like, I'm going to keep delivering that feedback regardless of what it is that's going on. Because when you want to make a move for change and everything or what have you, you know, you have to have people that are pushing on all different fronts. Everybody that, you know, me having the opportunity that I have to go to the studio, interact with Rex, all that, you know, all those different things, that's good. You know what I mean? I find it as productive because regardless of what is going on a corporate overhead level, I'm still giving that feedback from the standpoint of, well, as far as simulation football is concerned, regardless of what they say on an investor call, regardless of how much money is being made, this still needs to be worked on. This still needs to be done. And just because it doesn't happen quick, fast, and in a hurry, that doesn't mean that, oh, well, you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your voice. See, I don't feel that way. You do, or you may, you know, but I don't feel that way. So that's why I continue, because I did, like I said, from a video I did personally on Sim Standard then, I was all about the movement. It's about the movement. It's about the movement to get change to happen. Some people quit, some people change, some people softened up, some people chose to continuously go hard. But the bottom line is everybody's necessary. And I'm going to keep doing what it is that I can do to contribute to that, regardless of how someone feels. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't have a problem with your view or how you feel. I'm still all right. I'll change in a moment. Just hold on. I don't have a problem with how anybody feels or what have you. If you feel that I'm not, you know, if you feel that what it is that we talk about is extremely different from what you guys may say, fine. I'm not going to get mad at anyone about it. I mean, and to another point as well, the main reason why I stream the game is because I want people to see it. I want people to just see it the way it is. It's easy to hide a game. It's easy to hide a game and say, oh man, look how beautiful this game is, because I'm just going to show you nothing but these particular plays. But if I'm streaming the game, there's nothing for me to hide. Like I'm straight showing you the game. So therefore you see me get frustrated. You see the beauty of it. You see the ugliness of it. You see it all right there. And I'm like, yeah, this needs to be fixed. No, don't touch that. This needs to be fixed. That needs to be tightened. This needs to be better. I like this. I need to see more of that. I'll do the whole thing. And then we talk about it on our show Thursday that we do. You know, so it's like me, I want the game to be better. If like what I'm doing helps, our feedback does help. We do matter, believe it or not. It definitely helps with us speaking on it the way that we do, whether it's happy, you know, whether we're happy about certain things or we're not happy with other things. Everybody's valuable, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel that what I'm doing is valid from what I'm doing, because I have that opportunity. Just like how you guys had the opportunity with Joe Montana, just like how Moody and Apex got to work with my man's with Backbreaker and everything. Like, it was a privileged opportunity they got. Why the heck wouldn't you take it? You know what I mean? By all means, go for it. Shoot. No, I don't care who it is. Like, if you can make an impact to get change, if they hit Gedden up tomorrow, 2K hit up Gedden tomorrow and said, man, we need you, Apex, and a few other guys or whatever that just be going in on 2K issues and say, we need y'all to come into the studio tomorrow. I'm like, go. Don't stay home. Go. Speak on that stuff, man. Seriously. Get the insight, give the feedback. Y'all know what's up with the game. Speak on it. I'm gonna commend you for it. I'm not gonna bash you for it. Like, do it. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Like with me, if I like right now, I would do, if they called me, I would do what Czar did. I mean, Czar, he pretty much, in other words, he said, look, I'm a dev now. See what I'm trying to say? And let's say if I was like a 2K game changer and I was in the community like that, my whole paradigm of the sim fight has changed. It went from being in the community, trying to raise the community up, trying to galvanize them and condense and focus the attack. Now I'm inside. So now I can't be on the outside because I'm on the inside. So that has to be known. Now, you guys can be fighting on the inside, but when you fight from the inside, it's a whole nother game. Because now you belong to them professionally. On that type of level. You have to cater to people's feelings. You have to keep relationships healthy. But whereas when you're on the outside, you're talking about take home. You're not worried about relationships. You're worried about the goal. So it's always a give and take. What is it better to be on the outside? Is it better to be on the inside? You know, each position has its pros and cons. Now, if you're going to be on the inside, you got to really believe in the product. That's why I wouldn't go to EA to be on the inside, but I would go to 2K to be on the inside because I believe 2K, they have a foundation, and only thing they need is assurance that if they cater to sim heads, they're gonna sell. I think that's their number one problem. Whereas Madden, they got to change everything, and they're not gonna want to do that because it's like they got to make a game every year.
Listen,
so it's like, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, I was gonna say is Madden. Everyone has to realize. You know, we brought up, Apex just talking about EA changing everything, right? Smitty brought up Star Wars Battlefront. How many Star Wars Battlefronts were there? You know, you have like 1 or 2 games beforehand, and then this Starfront Battle 2, right? So that's 3 games total. The lineage isn't exactly there. Yeah, you have people that were fans back when it was on. I think the first game was on the Xbox, right? Or even the 360. I can't remember. But anyway, you had a handful of games, right? When it comes to Madden, you have grown men that are 45, even 50, that have played Madden, right? Then you have kids that are still playing Madden. It's a long lineage. So it's much harder. I wouldn't even say harder because these corporations do whatever the heck they want to do. But for EA to change their game to make it sim, they're too afraid that they're going to lose their base audience. And that's the reason why the game is basically a roster update. They don't fully progress the game because they know a certain type of player, a casual player, likes to play the game where they could easily win. Stupid AI, tournament players, they like to play the game so they could, take advantage of the game. They don't like it when there are simulated elements in the game where a wide receiver might drop an open pass. We saw that on national TV. And it was streamed, or not TV, but it was on the internet. Whoever the guy's name is, he had to come out and apologize. He said, "Oh, this game sucks." I remember somebody talking to was it Smitty, saying, "Hey, we don't like this in our game. You're taking the livelihoods out of people's job. This is their job. They play this game. You can't be expecting a wide receiver just because he's open to drop the ball," or wherever the case was. That's the fan base of Madden, and that's what it always has been, is casuals and tournament players, or very competitive people. They don't want a simulated game. So that's why it was even more phenomenal how we were building the sim standard, building the standard of a football game when EA was the only one to make a football game. When it was still fresh in people's minds. That's why it was even phenomenal that they even asked anyone from our sector to go out to go out to EA to quote unquote help them with the game. They don't need, not even 2K. No one They don't need anybody to help them with their game. These guys are professionals. They have professional football players they could talk to if they wanted to make a simulated game. They know what sells. Same thing with basketball. They could talk to NBA players if they really want to make their game more simulated. And I'm talking about 2K. They don't need us gamers. They only need us gamers is to promote the game, to push it out there. They call people like Smitty and SmackDown and whomever else, Czar, they call them influencers for a reason. The new word is influencers, right? So when you're an influencer, you're obviously influencing. So again, if you're saying don't buy the game, but you're streaming it, that's saying one thing and doing another. If Czar came out here and said, hey, this game is trash, but here's how to get around this trash, he would be a hypocrite too. So you can't walk a fine line. Either you are or you're not. Do what you're gonna do, right? But at the end of the day, they're only going to ask certain people to come to their events. Shout out to Labma. I don't know if he's listening or if he was here. He had a huge following. He was one of the bigger NBA 2K guy tutorial YouTubers out there. They never asked him to come up. Why? Because he'll tell them straight to their face, hey, this sucks, that sucks, and he's going to keep it real on his YouTube channel. Right? They never asked him. They asked other people, and not to throw shade at anybody else, but somebody like Lob Mob is completely different. It's another one out there, Brutal Sim, right? I'm not saying he's a 100% sim player, but he's very critical on NBA 2K. I don't think they'll ever ask him to come to NBA 2K headquarters to help them with the game, because they don't need that. These guys are professionals. They don't need people to come and help them with the game. It's all a facade, in my opinion. Right?
Here, let me, sorry to interrupt, man. So here's the bottom line. The bottom line is that whether Smitty and SimF Ball Critic and Azure, if he's still doing it, no matter who goes out to become a game changer, that's not on one side, every voice counts. Like I said before, every vote counts. But if we want to make a change, we can make a change, whether it be with part of the old sim standard going and becoming game changers or not. I think that we can make a change regardless. If we look at the numbers, whether they stayed on board 100% sim standard, never went to be a game changer, never had to worry about signing an NDA or, being part of that contract. I think that if you look at the numbers, it's inconsequential. The bottom line is that we have a movement that you say, Smitty, we have a movement that we want to pursue. We all want a better game. I don't hate you guys for going out there. I don't think that you're a bad guy for going out there. If they told me to go out there, I wouldn't go out there. But if I did go out there, if I did happen to go out there, like I've told you in your shows when I've called, I would have a timeline. One second. I would have a timeline that I would have them stick to, and if I found out that if I felt like the game wasn't changing the way that I wanted it to change, if I felt that way, then I would exit and I would say, you know what, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm going to go bounce because you guys aren't giving me the game that I want. You're not giving my community the game that they want. But you guys seem to feel like that's not happened yet. You're still going out there, and that's fine. You do what you got to do. The bottom line that I'm trying to say here is that whether you go out there, Smitty, or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we can do what we're going to do. You guys can push them to make a sim product. If they make it, great. If not, make it. But what we need to do as a community, this is why we're doing this show. Part of the reason why we're doing this show is we as a community need to stand strong and need to demand a better product. And like you said earlier, you made a good point about the NFL. Every weekend I watch the NFL. They're a monopoly. They've basically they're part of the monopoly issue that we have. And I pay them money. Like I've said in my previous comments, though, the NFL puts out a quality product. And I don't feel Madden does. So I'm okay with giving the NFL my money because I enjoy their product. Now, the Madden, I don't enjoy the product, so I don't give them my money. But a lot of people out there still continue to give Madden and EA their money. And we need to find a way to rise up as a community, not join EA, not join them and hold hands with them, at least not long term. And if you're going to go do that, man, go do that. Go enjoy the opportunity. Hopefully you can make something out of it. And I truly mean that. I want you guys to be successful in what you do. But what we got to do is demand a better product, whether you're inside the office or you're outside of the office. And if Rex, if you guys are close to Rex, if Rex ever wants to come on this show, and we don't have a lot of people watching it, but he ever wants to spend some time with us and answer the true sim community, the guys that are not, you guys might be sim community, but you guys are part of the Game Changer contract, right? Come and talk. Tell him to go and talk to your people.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, tell Rex to go and talk to your people. We're your people, right? We're part of your community, right? Tell him to come talk to us. And we want him, ask him, and we want him to.
I can't, I'm blocked.
Yeah, we want him to answer the questions that we have and see what he has to say, and then we can go from there. But all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, bro, this movement and this feeling that we have for a better product needs to happen, with or without people becoming game changers or not. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the end. You do what you got to do. But I wish you would join us and fight them and speak 100% unbiased truth on how you feel about the game, without having to worry about signing a contract or being part of those guys, just because you're part of the community, man. That's it. You know?
But I mean, that's what I'm doing, but like, why is it that so gameplay wise, Madden hasn't progressed none. For me to sit up here now, that'd be a bold-faced lie to do that. So
I don't think nobody said that.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. I'm saying I'm not gonna act as if but you saying you want me to, if you want me to speak like that, that's why I was speaking like that, because it was like the game wasn't progressing at all. So that's why I was ranting, going ham on them back then like that. The game is progressing, and that's clear as day to see, but it's not where it needs to be at yet. So that doesn't mean just because I'm not, screaming and hollering from time to time like that, that doesn't mean that I don't feel that it's not where it needs to be, or I'm not upset because it's not there. There are upsetting things, but it's like, what is the best thing that I can do? If something doesn't go the way, if something doesn't go according to plan to me, okay, what's the next thing I can do?
You know what you can do? Sorry, you know what you can do?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is what I think you could do. I think you should get all your boys. You should get Sim F-Ball Critic. You should get Azure. And you guys should quit that motherfucking place and fucking throw up a goddamn.
How you feel? Because of how you feel.
Hold on. Throw up a goddamn Twitter war, Twitter fucking storm. Everybody go nuts. You guys go nuts. Get Sim F-Ball Critic 16,000. Get Regular Dave. Everybody go and blow the fuck up and get this motherfucker changed. That's what we should fucking do.
Dropping the F-bombs. That was real. That was real.
That's what you should
do.
That
was real. Imagine the numbers, though. Imagine the numbers that are following.
Imagine
if all you guys got
together. Let's do that.
Got together. Y'all are game chambers, whatever, and say, hey, this game ain't worth your money. Do not buy it this year. Save 65. You know how powerful that would be? You guys are the inside.
All right. What happened when we did that? What happened when we did that?
Who knows if we would have kept on doing it from 2010 to 13? Who knows?
Happened. People bought it. You know what happened? What do you mean?
Wait. What, Smitty, what happened?
Come on.
What happened? Wait. What happened? You saying come on, carrying on, right?
Yeah, you were there.
What happened? Wait, what happened? Yeah, I was there. Two people got called. Wait. Two people got called.
I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Two people got called in to go fly down to Florida or to have conference calls and to have interviews. That's what happened. We were right there. And then they called into the Sim Standard. A couple of you guys went down there, right? And that fire stopped right there. It came into, whatever you guys did. I'm not going to get into the details of, all that. But what I'm saying is, you said what happened. That's what happened. We were right there. They started to at least acknowledge us, because all these devs, they always looked at the videos, even if they acknowledge you or not. They look at the videos, right? So the fact that they publicly acknowledged us for once, at that point, I thought, oh, we're right there. I was there with you. And that's why I went away, because I was like, oh, it might be in good hands now. We might be doing something, you know? But that's what happened. That was the power of our voices. Now, again, if I say, I'm telling you, if you guys go there now and say, hey, we're not going to support this game anymore. We're going to, join forces, if you will, or at least affiliate with, the likes of Ryan Moody and whomever else.
But they quit.
And if other bigger YouTubers ever come out and agree, you might get a movement going, but you never know what's going to happen if you just sit there and start and just stream games all day. You never know what's going to happen, right? Because you have a public voice, bro. You have to understand you have a public voice. Just because the masses are never going to agree with one element, no matter what. You could go politically, you could go with food, anything. Nobody's going to agree on one thing. But if you guys start a movement, you never know what may or may not happen.
And I think the fact that you guys have gone into the, hold on, I think, sorry, man, I'm sorry. If the fact that you guys have gone into their office and you guys have seen
that proves that we had some kind of power.
Right. And if you guys come out, and sorry about cursing earlier, guys. I just, no offense. I just, I get wild.
F that, do it.
Bottom line is, you guys have gone into their, into their worlds, right? You've seen what they have to offer. If you come out now and you guys join forces with everybody, every single one of us hold hands, and we start to rise up, you'll get even more credit than you used to have before, because you've been behind the walls and you're sick and tired. You could be like, I'm sick and tired of this game not getting to where I want to get and not being better in a lot of ways than a game that's 13 years old. You'll get more respect and more credit that way. If you guys really want a better game, you would get a better game faster, and you'd get competition faster by just saying, what I'm trying to say here, man. And you guys would be 10 times better off, I think, personally. But, you guys do what you got to do. But, I think that's the way we should do it. We need to make noise. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, man. We need to make as much noise as possible. Everybody in the chat, make the noise with your purchases. Don't buy the product. Make the noise with any podcast you could do, any YouTube video you could do, any tweet you could do. Make the noise. And then we'll get a better product one day, man. We're the consumer. We have the power. We just have to get the voices.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Apex. Go ahead. Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead, fam.
Yeah, part of my voice, yo. But yeah, man, I totally agree that never sleep on what a small voice can do. Like, I started this, I was by myself, man. I just did it because I believed in it. I don't have to have all these numbers to say something. And it got to the point to where something that I started, EA had to stick their nose in it. Bottom line, even before the Game Changer started, Ian Cummins offered me a job on Operation Sports. I turned it down, yo. I turned it down.
Yep.
Because I already knew what that meant, yo. I already knew what that meant. They offered me a game test. It wasn't even some type of thing. He wanted me to move down there, and he said it in one little private message on, so it wasn't elaborate or anything, but he offered it. Bottom line, I don't know what would have happened with that, but anyway, the people got to get their balls back. And it's like, that's what happened. We're so worried about being politically correct, trying to skate the line between keeping a relationship with EA. And like 10 years from now, what is that going to mean if Smitty and Sim F-Ball have a great relationship with Rex? He might not even be there. You see what I'm trying to say?
I don't think he will either.
I mean, he might not. I don't know. But
well, he did get a promotion, so
he won't based on just the averages of the gaming industry.
Exactly.
The averages won't have him there. They just have to turn people over. That's the way it works.
I mean, what EA was doing back then, it was every 3 or 4 years they would get new game directors or whatever, and different spokespeople, whatever you want to call them. At EA, you had the Victor Ortiz and you had Ian Cummins, and Donnie Moore was trying to do a little something, and then you got Rex, or if I'm forgetting anybody, I mean, fill it in. But you always had different people working on Madden. Who's to say that's not going to change? It probably will change.
Let me say this. This battle is deeper than all of this because it basically boils down to what is the community. And right now, cheeseaholics is the way to go. It's the way to go. They took over Madden. They're about to take over 2K for good. And I'm trying to fight them with 2K. My little voice, I only get like 200 videos, but I'm determined. And I'm trying to convince 2K to cater to the sim heads. But it's going to get to the point. Listen, it's going to get to the point where they're going to go too far in the direction of cheese. People are going to get too used to it, and then they're not going to be able to come back. If 2K loses this battle between the cheese versus the sim heads, it's done for all sports games. Because
but real quick, Apex, the only difference between 2K and Madden, which is not an only difference, there's no monopoly with the NBA.
Yeah.
If they want to go and they want to do cheese, well, guess what? NBA Live might step up and do sim, and then we have competition, which is what we want. And and this whole thing goes to you, Smitty. Talking to you right there. I'm talking to you, man. Will you come join us and the sim community, man? Will you get away from the game-changing fucking program and come join us, man? Because, and I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about us, the old community, the real community, man. We want to have a better game. You want to get a better game. I'm asking you right now. So will you join us, man? Will you join us?
So would I separate from the movement to get the game better so then I can join in what? Yeah.
What movement?
If you've been paying attention, Gedden, you'd already know that from what I'm talking about.
Wait, hold on. No. We are talking real right. No. Stop right there. Stop right there. No.
According to what Javo was talking about.
No, stop right there, man. What's your movement?
So therefore, Javo, I already gave you a homework assignment. So you got to do
Javo, maybe if you ask him, he'll say it. Jesus Christ.
No, you don't pay attention, bro. That's on you.
Man. Don't get disrespectful, man. I wasn't disrespectful with you, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. As much as you've been doing it, but it's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Javo, trying to answer your question. Re-ask the question. Oh no, never mind. No.
The question. I'll re-ask. Let's reframe it again. Let me reframe it. Here's the thing.
I got what you're saying.
Hold on.
But
hold on, bro.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. With what you just said a second ago, obviously you feel like you're doing the movement by being a game changer. You basically just said that with the way you started answering.
If I'm not,
but when I talk about the movements, I'm talking about the movement with us not being satisfied with EA and their game, and us not joining forces with EA. That's not the answer. Okay. If you go back to any of the, if you look back in history, people that have fought against anything and fought for anything, right? They didn't join the opposition. They didn't join the people that they're fighting against to make them change the movement. That's the last thing that you're going to do. It's like way back when we were in high school and you had your boys and you had their boys. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to go join their boys so I can get inside and tell them how that we're cool and we're going to all be cool again. No, bullshit. You don't do that. It's the last thing you do. You stand up stronger. You don't go across the bridge to the other side.
So you gotta fight everybody in order to make the point. That's what you're saying.
You have to.
Pay attention, Gedden. Pay attention, Gedden. Pay attention, Gedden. Well, I'm sorry. Never mind.
No, but you gotta stand for one thing, Smitty, or you're gonna fall for anything, man. You guys gotta stand up for one thing. And if you're going to go join those guys, you're going to go join those guys. But now you know what? You just lost some credibility. And you guys experienced that. You know that that's the case. But like I said, you still can do what you want to do. Nobody's saying you can't do what you want to do, but you're losing credibility by going and joining them. You've lost that from a lot of people, you know?
That's your belief system. I appreciate.
No, but you've said that. You've said it yourself. You said that people come out. You said it yourself. People come out and they accuse you guys of, being sellouts. You know that that's the case. People
say what they say. They say what they say, but then what action is being took?
No, but that's credibility. We're talking about the fact that
no. But see, it's not. No. It's not about the name. It's about the game. I ain't changing nothing. See, you're telling me where I stand. You're telling me how I should be.
No.
He made a statement
that you lost credibility.
We're not listening. We're not listening.
I'm not concerned. No, you're not listening. I'm not concerned. Trust.
No.
I've been listening to you. You're not.
No, he was saying that you lost credibility from back in the day, and then you say no, but you said a while ago that people call you a sellout, like, so it's like, and it's not like a few people here and there.
I mean, I'm not concerned about that. Do you see the concern that I have about that? Because I know that's a stereotypical. Listen, there are stereotypes in this community. That's very easy. If you show any like towards Madden in any way, shape, or form, you're compromised. You're sold out. You're getting checks. You're not a sim football player. You're a casual. You're all these things. I've heard all of it. This being said today is nothing new. So it's like, okay, next. What else you gonna say?
So then basically credibility.
You know, the same thing, Apex. The same thing was said before I even set foot in that studio, bro. Madden 12 came out and the same thing was happening. It doesn't matter. And that's the whole thing. I don't care about that. That doesn't mean anything. If people are going to talk that way, then talk. I don't care what you say.
But what you're saying, Smitty, what you're saying has some credibility to it, or you mean when it makes sense.
And then on top of that, people don't take action. Where's the action being took at?
You're gonna have people that hate. You're gonna have people that hate on you because you go to. Hold on.
So
you're gonna have people that. Hold on a second, real quick.
No, go ahead, Javo.
Real quick. You're gonna have people that will hate because you join forces with what they call the EA.
Cool.
But you got to understand that if you listen to yourself right now, you're telling us that you don't care what those people think, but you're representing those people, Smitty. It's like Charles.
I represent. You know what? He's not
a role model.
You know what I listen to? I listen to when people talk about problems of the game. I'm not concerned about what you say about me. What's going on with the game? That's why I say I commend people that do community work. I don't care if I'm not. I don't have to agree with you on no level. But if you drop a roster, I'll be like, hey, check out so-and-so's work that they did with whatever game, Backbreaker, APF, whatever. I'll shout that out because you're doing work. I'm not concerned about, let me say this. I feel this way about Smitty, and I feel this way about Game Changers, and I feel this way about, okay, that's nice you feel that way.
Why you block Ryan Moody?
What's being done?
Why you block Ryan Moody?
You really want to get into that? Trust me, that goes beyond video gaming as to why he's blocked. So it's got nothing to do with video games. So,
I mean, you said you don't care what people say about you.
Listen.
You just said you don't care what people say about you. You care about the game. There's no one who does more community work than Ryan Moody, right?
Everybody's above suspicion.
Okay.
Everybody.
He does work. Oh, no. Hold on. Apex. Hold on a second. I've given Moody plenty of credit in regards of his community work. The reason why, even though he constantly got to tug on my coat every year, and I don't even talk with him, but he's got to keep my name in his mouth. But when you want to use your mom being sick as leverage to try and get a one-up over somebody, you're blocked. Terminal illness ain't no joke, and you chose to use that try to use that as a quip against me, especially after what I've been dealing with. I got a dad that died from cancer. I got a mother-in-law that died from cancer, and I was doing while I was doing YouTube stuff, and I had my mom going through what she was going through. Yeah, bro, you're blocked. So that's why he's.
Wait, what did he do? Wait, what did he do?
When he posted a tweet and he's talking about his mom being ill, and he chose to make some quip in regards to me, in the same token, you're blocked. You don't do stuff like I would never. That's like me. What he did would be equivalent of if somebody, like, let's say if you tweeted to me, right, or something like that. You send a tweet to me, and I don't reply back to you, and I've been responding back to you back and forth like pretty quickly, but all of a sudden you say something and I don't say anything, and you say something like, you know what? That's why Smitty couldn't respond, because he couldn't take the heat. And then I turn around and tell you, no, actually, the reason why I didn't respond because I was at the doctor's office getting this diagnosis as far as blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm gonna throw the situation at you. And I'm gonna throw what I got personal. I'm gonna throw it at you and try and make you look like you're the bad person and make me look like, oh, woe is me, to gain empathetic leverage. I wouldn't do no crap like that. I don't put family out like that. He did that. That's how I took it. That's why I said he's blocked. I don't respect that.
But did he? Wait. I'm sorry. And I had no idea any of that was going on. Right.
No, I don't.
So wait. I just want to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to ask.
Go ahead, bro.
After you said that, what was Ryan's response?
No, I didn't. This
is interesting.
I didn't post a tweet. He posted it all on his own. No one's talking to him. No one's adding him or nothing. I had no conversation with him at all whatsoever. He posted that tweet in his own free will, and then it got my attention. I see it, and I'm like, oh, you know what? He's blocked, because that pissed me off.
Wait. He said he retweeted what you said to him, saying, "Oh, my mom is sick. I'm in the hospital or whatever." And he retweeted that and quoted that, saying, "Oh, I guess it got too hot in the kitchen," or whatever the case was.
No, he posted. No. I was just using you as an example in the sense of, like, let's just say verbatim, like if we had a convo and I chose to just use my mom as a leverage example to post on Twitter and say, basically try to make you look like an a-hole. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna go ahead and post this tweet and say, oh, I got this going on with my mom, but he's over here doing this. It was that kind of tweet. He sent that on his own. I didn't have any dialogue with him. Like I said, I don't talk to him. He did that all on his own. And when I saw that tweet, that was the block right there. That's why I blocked him. It's got nothing to do with his football knowledge. He is extremely knowledgeable with football gaming, and I respect the heck out of his knowledge. That guy has an extremely high football acumen. I gave that dude props many times over. I have no problems with him as far as gaming is concerned. But that stuff right there, to me, that's personal, especially after what I opened the show up with, and I said what happened with my mother. So yes, that's very personal. So therefore, I'm done. I'd rather not see a tweet from you, have to deal with you at all. You're good. But I will say this. I am praying for his mother. I want his mother to have full-blown recovery, just like what my mom did. It was a battle. It was a struggle. It was a testament. But at the same time, she overcame. I lost 2 close family members to it. I don't want Moody to experience what I did. So therefore, I pray for his mom, and I pray for him too, because he's going to need the strength to help her through. But outside of that, though, I don't want to interact with him. That's why he got blocked, because you don't play crap like that. I don't play those kind of games, dude, and that's something you don't do. And it takes a heck of a lot for me to block you. But that right there is why you earn the block, and for that, you're good. I'm good on you on that note. I respect your knowledge, but do your thing over there. And I respect you, but just stay in your lane. So I'm gonna make you stay in your lane by blocking you.
Let's get back to the football, man. I mean,
okay.
That's what I mean. No, getting asked. He didn't know.
I asked. I wanted to know.
I mean, I know he didn't know. He didn't know. So that's why I just wanted to make it crystal clear. So anybody has anything they want to say, chat or anything like that, make sure you pay attention to what I just said. That's how I feel about it. That's why I did the block. That's why. That's it.
That's cool.
So, but now back to the whole football gaming thing, though. Now we could go on that. Go ahead. But go ahead, man. So, I'm sorry, but that's just, that's a core.
Hey, man, yeah, that's personal. So like I said, I had no idea nothing about that.
It's cool.
I mean, cool, it's still hard for me to understand what exactly transpired.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Listen. I had Moody muted. I didn't have him blocked, but I don't see his tweets. He tweets me. So I know he tweeted me because I'll see his name show up in my timeline when somebody else is talking to me at times. So that's the only way I caught wind of it. Otherwise, I never would have knew he posted that. But then when I saw the link and I go to the tweet and I seen what he said, oh, scratch that, cuz. No, you good. Hold that block. Oh, you good.
This whole thing to the left.
I don't play that.
Let's
you
go
don't do
back.
that crap,
Let's
man.
go back
So
to gaming.
back to the game. That's what I'm saying. It's about game. Look, let me tell you. I started doing these YouTube videos in 2009. Prior to that, I didn't have any communities to interact with Madden, period. It was like I was the only Madden dude that I knew, like outside of going to GameStop and chopping it up with cats. So when I started doing these YouTube videos, it wasn't about anti-EA, anti-Madden. I rock with Madden. I want Madden to be great. That's why I didn't buy it. It was kind of like how KG talked to Glenn Davis and he was crying on the sideline. I didn't buy the game from Madden 09. I didn't buy Madden 10, didn't buy Madden 11. I bought Madden 12 used. I didn't start getting Maddens until until I went to EA and when they would send me the game. But outside of that, though, I just want the game to be better. At the end of the day, I want the game to be way better than what it was. And at the same time, I wanted competition. I wanted Backbreaker to keep making their game. Unfortunately, they quit. I want to see the license open, and even without a license, I would love to see 2K make another unlicensed football game and just make an open template and let people rock out the way they want. But see, that's why I rock with the opportunity with EA because number one, and I've shared this with Apex before. At some point, I would love to be in the industry at some capacity. That's a career goal of mine. Now, if that could possibly happen by doing this, that would be great. I've seen other people do it, so I'm like, cool, that would be awesome if that could happen at some point. But outside of all of that, my main thing is getting a better game. So I'm not concerned about the sellout stuff. I knew people were going to say that in 2012. They were going to call me that. Oh, man, you rocking with them? Man, I know people going to bring the heat at us. Yep, I already know. It's going to happen. Oh, well. But the end goal is I still want that game. So when I look at people's videos, they could say all the slander comments, all the you this, you that, Smitty, Sims, or whatever. But if you make a valid point in your video about what's going on in the game, just like what you shown Gedden on your timeline, you shown those blocks, how Clowney blew up that fullback. How come that's not in Madden? That's extremely valid. That should be in Madden. That needs to be in Madden. There are numerous types of plays that I would need to see in Madden, or I would like to see if there's another competitor, if it could be done at some point. I like to see it done in Axis. I would like to see it be done in other games. So it's all about the game at the end of the day, the products. It's not about the people in the sense of I'm gonna dish you because you're not real, and I'm gonna dish you because you're not this and you that and all that. It's just about getting the better game. At the end of the day, that's why I love what Apex does with 2K, even though sometimes he does sound redundant with his points, but I understand because of what's happening in the game. He's making the same point, and he loves the game. He's riding for it, but he wants the game to be better. It's like I feel the same way. It's just that my position is different than where I was at in the past. So that's it. If people respect it, cool. I appreciate that. If you feel that I don't have any impact because I'm a game changer and all these things are sold out and all that stuff, then that's your personal feeling, and I respect that. But we still are all driving towards the same goal. You posting NFL stuff on Twitter, Gedden, is no different than me doing it. Or me sending a video, or me capturing a video on my cell phone and sending it, to Clint or something like that. It's no different.
Well, there is a big difference, but there's a huge difference. The big difference is.
Let me say something. It's about gathering and focusing the community. That's our only bet. Anything else is
Only
not
one?
like that's really the only bet, really. Now, what Smitty is talking about, I understand where he's coming from. And I understand that ideal that I'm going to make it. I know Smitty, I mean, it has to cross your mind that the game changers is like, it's a program to, I guess you could say to protect EA's way of doing things. That's pretty much where it's going to go. Now, if they can make game changes in the game, it's only going to be but for so much. But the reason why I think the battle is with 2K is because if we can win that battle, it's an uphill battle with 2K. The battle is convincing 2K and it's a lot to do with money. Convincing the 2K bosses, whatever whoever they are, that if they cater to sim heads, it's worth it. That's the whole battle. Nothing else is the battle. They have to know that making a sim game is worth it, and it has to be with 2K because that's where the main battle is. If we win that battle with 2K, it will spill over to other games, other companies even. MLB The Show is cool, but baseball it's not strong enough, man. It has to be football or basketball. And if Madden, they're not there, man. Their core programming is messed up, along with the difficulty levels. But with 2K, the they have the core programming. It's the other bullshit that's on top of it that I'm trying to attack. And
But
also the 2K Cheeseaholics.
Yeah, we got it.
Those two things. Get it.
I mean, I know, yeah, and I mean, like I said, I understand what you're saying. They got gameplay issues. They have gameplay issues, and they also have difficulty level issues. Heck, you even tweet about it on Twitter. You got to play it on Pro. But Scott OG said you need to play it on Superstar or Hall of Fame to really see the game fully play out right. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it still is a problem no matter what. And the thing is that you got guys that have been in there nearly 15 years on the game. And, you know, and I'm not saying dudes need to be let go or nothing. I don't think that's the case. I think that, like, I mean, I'm in agreement with you. I think that what needs to happen is that, yes, it does need to be go by the sim way, but that's the problem. I think what needs to happen with 2K is, at least from satisfying those fronts, is that they need to segment their game, meaning like you got difficulties and everything set in the game, so you could tune it based off of those difficulties versus having to just update the entire game and everybody's got to deal with it. So if they say they want something done for Pro-Am, you got to deal with it. I got to deal with it. Everyone's got to deal with it, no matter what. And people want the game to be easy, despite the complexity, you know, the complex and intricate aspects of the game. And it's like you can't honestly do that and be fair. You know what I mean? You can't really do that without, like I said, without some kind of segregating in the game. You have to do it. That's the only way. And it sucks the way it is right now because, in my opinion, 2K is an outstanding game, but it's like I keep saying the same thing. I've been saying the same thing since 2K11, and I talked with Gedden on the phone about this. When we saw 2K12's trailer, we were like, yo, that's it. All they need is just to make sure they separate the animations in the game and get that AI integrity straight, and they're good. And it hasn't happened yet. The game's getting, don't get me wrong, the game's gotten better, but it's also fell through the cracks in certain facets. And that's, like I said, it sucks because it's like what you say all the time in your vids. It's like it's there. It's just like they need to switch some things up in the game and it'll be right. But they're playing down to that other crowd, like you said, man.
This sounds like a perfect topic for another show. We've been on this line for a long time tonight, guys. We really appreciate everybody coming on, man. I don't mean to cut it too short on you, Smitty and Apex. I mean, we had a lot of good conversation, man. We should do it again sometime for sure. And the invitation, Smitty, for you, any of your guys, if you guys want to come on in the future, you're more than welcome. And as you saw here, you know, it's a free forum, man. You can talk how much ever you want to talk, whatever direction you want to talk. And we appreciate you coming on to, you know, to share your thoughts. And same thing for Apex, man, and everybody else in the chat. You know, this movement and this passion that we have to get a better football game is not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And we're not going to let mediocrity rule our lives, man. We need to get a better game, whether it be EA or another company. And we all agree that we want a better game. But for all of us who want to join forces and try to, you know, vocalize our opinions, let's do it. And the ones that want to do different things, go for it. But, you know, we want a better game in the end.
Hey, let me say this. Retro Resolve, Gyros, Gonzo, those are guys that you guys need to get up on here, man.
Yeah, I agree. We getting retro next week.
Cool.
And then I really want to get J Rose up in here. That's my dude right there, boy.
I want to get Rex Dixon on here.
Shout out to Rexy.
Even better.
Holler at him.
I'll holler at him.
I would, but I'm blocked because I brought up football elements and he blocked me. So
I'll reach out to him. I mean, if we can get Scotto Gallagher, if we can get Sean Lee from 2K, that'd be nice. You know, we just want to talk to people that want a better product, man. And we want the community to be heard.
Get Czar up here, man. Get Czar. Czar's already on Google Hangouts, man.
Yeah, we can get Czar. We can get Czar on here. If anybody on any of you guys, if you guys can get anybody on the show, bring them on. We'll bring them on. No problem. Any connections you guys have, bring them on. But we got to call this night a night. We gotta call this show a show. We appreciate everybody who came on. I'll give you guys a last, shout out to to say your piece. But thanks, Smitty, Gedden, Apex. We appreciate it, man. Much respect, Smitty. It's all good. And I'll let you guys do your thing, and then we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, I'll go first. Thank you for everybody coming out to the show. Definitely respect everybody on the panel. One last thing I would like to say, and it's not gaming related, and I'm not trying to be down or nothing, but one of my homies lost his little brother. He was an Army vet, and they found him in the barracks, passed away. So God bless him and his family, and I hope that they have some kind of resolve in that matter. It just happened Thanksgiving, so I said I was going to say something, so I'm going to say something now. So, but thanks again for everybody coming out to the show. Anybody else want to say any lasting remarks?
Yeah, I definitely will. First of all, to get in, to your friend and his family, definitely huge shout out to their family. Definitely pray, everybody, I encourage, definitely prayers going out towards you, Gedden, and definitely to your friend and his family and the family of, the person that passed away. That first and foremost. Secondly, shout out to everybody, the community, the movement, all that stuff, whichever game it is you support and play, by all means do that. At the end of the day, like I said, we want the best games possible. We don't have to agree on everything, but we do need to be able to at least respect everybody's thoughts, feelings, and regards, and be in regard to that. So at the end of the day, that's what a community actually does. They respect everybody's communication. Doesn't have to be in full agreement, but at least the respect, the integrity, and the respect is there. So I respect these guys. Much respect to Gedden, much respect to Javo. Of course, Apex, you already know what it is, man. And and everybody else, Destro, all of y'all cats, man. Much respect to all of you guys, whether yay, nay, it doesn't matter. All respect, man.
Yo, shout outs to the panel. Shout outs to you, Smitty, for coming on. For real, you know what I'm saying? This is like it's so easy to think that it's an anti-Smitty or anti-Sim standard, and you came on anyway, man. So shout out to you for that. I thank God that your mother made it through, Smitty. That's on the real, man. I thank Jesus Christ for that, and that's a big thing, yo. I mean, I'm happy for you, B. And
thank you.
I just want to leave it there.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Right.
Same thing.
Yep.
Same thing, man. Hug your mom, give her a bunch of kisses, man.
Oh, no doubt. Oh,
you got to, and give your daughter more kisses.
Yeah,
you gotta keep doing that. All right, guys, we'll call it a show, man. Thanks everybody for coming online. We'll see you next week, Tuesday night.
Yo,
peace, guys. Yo. Oh, I don't know. I think
thought you were saying something.
So did I.
No, that was it. I said peace.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Peace. Later, guys.
All right.
Good night, man. Peace.
Yo, fellas, you have a good one, yo.